Hey you guys, welcome back to Angel Angela. And on this topic, you guys, we're going to talk about why do you bargain with the narcissist? Why do you bargain with the narcissist? I believe that the reason you're caught up with the narcissist, or it's hard to leave them, or it's hard to move on even when they're not around, is because this person has killed you in so many ways. And now you're literally shut down. This person has pushed you to the point where you have shut down your emotions. You feel numb. You feel like you can't feel anything else but pain. You can't feel true joy or true happiness. And a lot of it has to do because you have shut yourself down. And shutting yourself down, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Because in this time this is a time where you're literally reloading yourself. You're setting up a new program. You're going through all these old files and you're putting the pieces to the puzzle together, and you're seeing with your own eyes what has led you to the point where you're at, and you've realized that you led yourself up until this point to do whatever it is that you wanted to do deep down inside. And as you look back at past experiences and people who have done you wrong, or people who've deceived you, who've stolen from you, who've taken from you, and you've seen the outcome to a lot of those people's lives, and you've seen that even some of them might have never changed, or you might have seen that a lot of these, type of soulless type of beings like to be together, even when they're doing each other wrong. And when you're looking from the outside in, remembering being inside that box, you see that who you were is not who you are now. And you see that the narcissist loves being in that box. They love it. They love being in that box. They claim everyone else is beneath them. They're so much more intelligent. And it's because they're circling that box, preying on people. When you have reached the point of consciousness where you can't even be in that box and feel comfortable. And even if you tried to, there's too many situations that will happen that just won't feel good to you or to your spirit or to your, to your soul. And it doesn't feel good. And a lot of times when you get an intuition and you go along with it, you realize later on that you were right. And these people, they're just happy to have a story to talk about. And you become numb to those things. You become numb to the way people think and how small they think. And it makes you feel lonely. It makes you feel like there aren't really people that you can relate to. And even when you do find people that you can kind of relate to, they end up being a narcissist. And they're different from you. And you can feel it. And a lot of times, I believe that it's very hard to walk away from the whole dynamic, because you realize that everyone has played a kind of like a special role in your life, and you also realize that you had a role to play as well. Now you're put in positions and situations that you know you have a choice between good and evil. Now you know you have a choice. Before you thought you had a choice, you thought that you were making the right choices. And now there's something different about you because now you have to think twice. Your consciousness has to also make that choice for you. When before you were just doing things. And a lot of times we ask ourselves, how was I, hanging around all these people that were stuck in this box doing all type of things and not getting into any type of trouble, or it seemed like we weren't paying the price. And now it's like knowing right from wrong, seeing the true depths of evil through that narcissist. Now you second guess yourself, or you question the things that you do or the things that you say before you say them, or how it will affect someone if you said something, or now you think twice before hurting someone because you know what it's like to be hurt, or you try to be more giving and more understanding with people depending on their conscience level, because it's up to them to gain that conscience, and you don't want to bring someone in this reality that you're living in because they're not even there yet. They're still writing their story, and some of them aren't meant to wake up the same way as you. They wouldn't know how to handle it, and sometimes waking up others will only turn into them resenting you in some type of way, or them looking in the mirror, having to look at what's really going on and wondering why someone would just shatter their reality like that. And now they're face to face these things alone, and they're wondering why. And I believe that with consciousness, there's a lot of responsibility, and everyone has to grow into their own consciousness at their own time, at their own pace, through their own experiences. Not everyone has to wake up by you literally telling them what's going on. They can't get it in that moment because they have their own tribulations, their own things to go through. And I believe that a lot of us compare our stories and our struggles when, this person could have had, the perfect family, the perfect everything. And you're looking at them like you're better because your struggle was more than theirs. And one day, their whole family can get murdered, and now they're in a position that you've never been in before. And this was part of their awakening on learning about the evils of the world. And this is how they get to choose whether they want to be evil or they want to do their best to spread awareness and save other souls and, hope that their soul is forgiven as well. And I believe that everyone has their own awakening, and sometimes they believe they're awake and they're really not awake. And part of waking up is learning to let go. Once you know what evil is, once you know what's slowly killing you from the inside out, that's taking life from you slowly. Once you know, it's like the road, to hell, and the road to heaven. And that in order to get to heaven, there are sacrifices that you must take. You can't love anyone more than you love yourself. And Sometimes we believe that we love ourselves because we can, we feel like we're strong enough no matter what is facing us. And we believe that we can buy time. And we tell ourselves we have a plan, right? But while having that plan, this person is still killing you. And that's just what it is in that moment. And it's up to us to fight that addiction, to fight what we know serves us no purpose, because it literally already served you your purpose. The purpose was for you to understand the game and just the different viewpoints of that game. And even when you don't want to listen and you continue to fail in that mindset where it's just hard to let go, you will suffer more pain, and it would just get worse. And it's all just to have a story, just for the narcissist to have a story to tell. And as they're creating their stories and their memories of abusing others, and that's really all they care about, and that's what they want to find pride in. And it's sad because that's what they find happiness in. But after you just know it's time to wake up. You realize that this person did kill you in every aspect, and you realize that you couldn't stop. And once you've been forced to humble yourself and regain your strength slowly, it's like you're slowly being rewarded. And sometimes things don't go as planned, but because you've seen miracles, or you've seen the good throughout that bad, you've seen that there was always something there pulling you into the right direction. You just experience this type of joy and happiness from all the pain you've went through. And even though you experience this happiness, there's moments where you just might feel like you didn't make the right choice, or maybe you should have gave them more time. And sometimes you've given the narcissist nothing but time, and nothing changed. Children didn't change them. Miscarriages didn't change them. Them draining your bank account, them putting you in situations that losing your job, not motivating you, not inspiring you, not giving back to you, just taking from you, just draining you, mentally draining you, making you waste your empathy, your knowledge, making you waste your goodness on only them because they're selfish. And you bargain with them, and there's nothing to bargain about. It's literally, in their mind, it's either you or them, and they've showed you time and time again they're choosing themselves. Yet you're bargaining to make it work with them, or to just be alone, or to just be within yourself. And you're bargaining, should I be with someone that is clearly showing me that they're willing to sacrifice me? What is there to really bargain about? You know what's right, you know what's wrong, that this person has been mean to you, they haven't been kind to you. You know that every time they've done things to you. Karma has a way of hitting them where it hurts. Maybe they don't care about you. Maybe they only care about finances, and they always get hit in the finance in their finances, and maybe they eventually get everything back because you're there to motivate them. You're there to give back to them. You're there to, help them when they're down, or give them rides, or whatever it is, position that you're playing in their life. You're there to support them in their dream, or your family is there to support you, to support them in their dream. I mean, it's really just about them. And you're bargaining to be with someone who has showed you that they do not value people. And even when they claim that they do, they're not doing it for nothing. They're doing it for something. And once they know you figured them out, and once they know that everyone is being used for something, and that the people closest to them are their flying monkeys, the people they gossip with, the people they talk bad about you with, and then they act like they don't speak to anyone. They act like they don't talk to these people about your problems. And then you're wondering why these people don't like you. You're wondering why they're slandering you. And, you keep being nice to these people, even though they're slandering you, because you think to yourself, maybe these people just have a bad attitude. Maybe they just you're believing everything the narcissist is telling you. The narcissist is playing both sides. They're playing games on that side. They're lying. They're not being truthful to these people. They're making these people cast spells on you, and then these people are wondering why bad things are happening to them. Then the narcissist is telling you all the bad things that's happening to these people, and then you're thinking to themselves, well, that's what they get, right? Now you're casting spells on them, and it's just a whole bunch of wickedness going on, and it's all because of the narcissist. And they know that they're the ones that are basically the puppet masters in this situation. And they're getting off on that. And they're getting off on the fact that you're not understanding that, and you're bargaining with your life. And when you do understand, it's like they're looking at you, they have an evil smirk, they're pulling the strings, and they're like, see, now you see I'm pulling the strings. It was me all along. Now you figured it out. And they have this smirk. They'll tell you, they'll laugh. It's like a little kid filled with joy, a little bully, someone that wasn't taught better, or they were taught better, but they weren't listening because what they were seeing was something completely else. They wanted to see what they wanted to see. And when you see that, it's like, you're really wondering why. What was the purpose? And they're kind of like, there isn't any purpose. I just wanted to pull everyone's strings. And I win, you lose. I always had one over you. But the moment that you realize that you realize what's going on, and you pull that string, and you cut your own cord, and you cut yourself out of that connection to them, and you realize everyone around you was somehow connected to this narcissist, or the narcissist is somehow pulling their string. It's like they're just taking souls, and these people don't have no clue. It's up to you to understand that that's a process. The process is being thankful for your awakening, because having your freaking strings being pulled for the rest of your life It's not a life that I would want to see myself or anyone living. And when you see people their strings being pulled, it hurts you and you want to help them. But all you can do is give people advice, as I try to give others to save them or help them, keep moving forward. Because while you're bargaining with them and you're realizing the truths of this world, you keep wanting to tell yourself that you're still bargaining with them. And that's really why you can't move on. And it's not because you're bargaining with them. It's because you're bargaining with yourself. You start bargaining with your life. It's not about them anymore. And you deep down know it's not about them anymore. You already know that you can't change them, and you already see their future. Just the same way you see the future of others, because you're enlightened and you're awakened and you have light. You're conscious. You're not in and out of that consciousness. And you see that narcissist believing that they're fully conscious, but you know that it's nothing there. It's all a mind game to make you feel like you're crazy. But you know there's nothing there. You know that this person, this spirit is after you, right? And you know that you can't go back to being who you used to be because you're not that person anymore. And all you have is memories, really. And when you look at those memories, you're like, who is that? That's not me. What was I thinking, or what was I doing, or why did I put myself in that situation? Or I should have walked away. I should have. But the reality is you aren't who that person is anymore. And your real true fear that you keep bargaining with yourself is the fact that that's not you anymore. You know that your old life is behind you. You know that there's still people around you that are connected to that old life, and you can feel it inside of you that it's telling you that these people were supposed to be gone a long time ago. And you realize that you've been stuck here and they've been stuck here. And you realize that they keep playing the same character. And you're like, stop playing that character, change. Just when are you going to realize that you're playing this character, narcissist? But the reality of it is that you're bargaining with your old self, with your old life. And you're bargaining with your true self, your new self. There will always be that girl or that little boy who didn't know anything, who was a child, who thought like a child, who was growing up and still thought like a child. And now you realize that you had to grow up, and you look around and you realize that the game is still the same. That everyone still has choices on what group, what cult they want to be in. If they want to be a loner, they want to be with this crowd or that crowd. But now you know that everything you do has a consequence. A bully is a bully. There has to be bullies. Bullies always get what they deserve. Bullies are always angry. And a bully always wants to act like your friend just to betray you for no reason. And all you did was try to be nice. All you did was try to give this person that didn't have anything that was of value. You try to give them love, a friendship, something meaningful. And I do believe that people will always remember the good things you did for them. And they try not to remember the bad things that they done to you, or, they try to hold it. I believe that's what the narcissist does. They don't think about what they've done to others. All they think about is, I'm a great guy. I know I could be what people want me to be, but I won't. I don't want to be that. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my character. I'm proud that I get to mess with people and give them a choice, because to them they're giving you a choice. But in reality, when you do what you feel is right, which is really walk away from the narcissist, and I do believe that a lot of us tried to walk away from these type of relationships because it didn't feel right. You're just, especially when you meet someone and you really don't know them like that, and they do something disrespectful for the first time, that's where you were supposed to leave and you didn't. But the fact that you didn't means that there was a lesson to be learned. And even if it wasn't with that narcissist, it would have been with someone else, and it would have just kept going until you looked at your true self, until something happened, until something happens and you're able to understand the world. Some people have to keep going through different experiences with different people, and some people just end up with these narcissists for many years, and some people never get out. But the fact that you did means that you were stronger. Your mind was stronger than what you thought. But the only problem is you're afraid to walk alone. And it's not just walking alone, but a lot of times your energy is depleted. And that happens because you keep going back, or you keep thinking that you could have done something differently, or maybe you weren't understanding of the narcissist, or maybe you weren't on the same page or the same level. You can understand them, but you understand them now, but really you couldn't understand them at all. And they chose to do these things. Now that you understand, they don't care that you understand. They still choose to do these things because that was their plan all along. That's who they are. And even when all they're going to do is dumb you down. And that's what they don't like. They don't like it that you have your own mind. They don't like it that you're conscious and you're asking yourself why and questions, and you're questioning them. And, they don't like for you to have your own mind. They're aware that you have your own mind. They are aware that you have choices and that things will change according to the choices you want to make. But they always have this, I have one over you, or I know you want, I know you're going to want closure. So the next one is, they will never give you closure. Never give you closure. They'll never apologize. If they do apologize, they don't mean it. They'll do it again. They'll try to buy you. They literally want you to bargain with your own life. They're like willing to buy you. They want you to sell your soul so bad, and they want you to sell it for cheap because they've sold theirs for free. And they're like, come back, I'll give you $20, $50, almost treating you like you're like you're some type of prostitute or something. These people are very evil. They'll do anything to get next to you. They'll stalk you. They'll stalk you. They'll stalk your job. They'll leave notes in your car. They'll promise you things, sell you dreams. But you can see it in their eyes. They don't like looking real people in their eyes. Sometimes that's why they don't want to meet the good people around you, or they feel uncomfortable to do so because they're afraid that someone who's awake will look them in the eyes. They want you to keep bargaining with your life. And the problem becomes the fact that you're afraid of leaving your old life behind and starting a new one because you've seen the ugly, you've seen the nasty things of this world. You've seen what people have normalized. Everything makes more sense now. And it almost seems like you're walking in hell, in this fire pit, but you're not getting burnt. It's like walking on water, and you're seeing everyone being disturbed and running to something and reliving the same thing, and you're afraid that that's how you've been living, and you're afraid that that's what you will be doing and continue to do. And it's okay to be afraid. It's like being held hostage and then you're leaving, and some people might bargain because the person that's been holding them hostage has done stuff to be nice to them. These are your predators. These are the people that prey on you as a kid, waiting on you to turn 18 or just in and out of your life, waiting for you to be legal, waiting for you to grow up, and preying on you, never taking you serious, and then coming back and then preying on your children. And these people are predators, and they come in and out of your life hoping that you will continue to bargain with them, continue to play with them. So my advice is to stop playing with your life. Stop thinking people are joking when they say evil things to you, especially when it's hurtful. I remember being a young girl and going through the abuse for the first time and listening to the words come out of this person's mouth and the things they said about me, and never hearing anything like it before, and wondering, why did this person just switch on me? I remember walking away and this person just wouldn't leave me alone. And I'm a young girl thinking, well, maybe this is love. This person won't leave me alone. And the people around me is like, leave that person alone. He's weird. She's weird. But you like the attention. And sometimes all attention isn't the right attention. And not everyone is our soulmate. Not everyone that comes in our life is our soulmate. And even when we've been waiting patiently and think to ourselves, everything's been going good for me, maybe this is my soulmate. There's a devil for every level. And that's what I've learned. And whatever's taking your peace of mind, whatever is disturbing your peace, whatever doesn't make you happy, whatever doesn't feel right, it's just time to walk away. There was a lesson in every experience. You have a gift, an understanding for a reason, maybe to help others, because you've also realized that you've done a lot of things when you weren't conscious of what was going on. But now that you know that you don't have an excuse anymore. You know that when you do bad things happen. You know when you do good things happen. You know that bad will attack you for being good. And you know that you'll win that battle. But you have to not bargain with yourself, not second guess yourself. You have to know. You have to be in tune. Always be conscious, you guys, of the moves that you're making, and always make sure that your next move is your best move, and you're not taking any more losses, because you're always one step ahead of what can happen, and you're deciding that it's your choice, that there's no bargaining, that this is what you want. And you're only giving in to what feeds you. Because you should take your energy very, very serious. And I believe that that's what it is a lot of times, is that we don't take our energy serious. So there's different people that's coming in, dabbing in on our energy and leaving, and taking from you, lying to you, leaving. And one day we realize that so many people have came in and took our energy. And the narcissist has that look on their face like, oh, you didn't know people were taking your energy? Well, the door was open. That's why I came in and took the rest of it. I know, I'm sorry. I guess it's time for me to leave. I'll come back when there's more energy. These people, you guys, they don't think. They just do. And sometimes they'll even tell you, I don't know why I did it. They don't know why they did it. There's nothing there, you guys. You know what's right and you know what's wrong. You know what's good, what's bad. You know what it takes to survive. Don't be afraid. And that's all I can say for today's video. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you guys learned something. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. I'm sending you guys lots of love, lots of peace, and lots of light your way. So I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.